Oh, hello. When I was in 6th grade, I was introduced to the idea of high fantasy literature as a distinct genre when my English teacher Mary Kreidler had our class read the book The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander. When Eilonwy and Taran met Gurgi and Kal and their adventuring party was formed and they went out and did things together, something in my head clicked and I kind of understood what it meant to go on an adventure. Then, when she had us read Tolkien's The Hobbit, I grasped the concept even further. Unlikely heroes gather largely against their will to perform tasks that help save the world throughout terrible hardships, overcoming with wit and muscle and blade and teamwork. It was at this time that I was introduced to the idea of the game Dungeons & Dragons. A simple conversation while I hung out in her classroom after school to talk about books fell on the topic, and that evening, I had my parents take me to a bookstore where I bought the Dungeons & Dragons adventure game box. It was a basic beginner set for 3rd edition D&D that had these sort of pamphlets that were stapled together and had some basic rules in them and some basic adventuring stuff. It had a big large map with a bunch of tokens that you could place on it to like, this token is a door, this token is a goblin. It had a bunch of really useful things for starting in this game. And I read those books cover to cover 100 times, at least. I gathered together a couple friends from my neighborhood, and we played the first game, with me as the Dungeon Master, despite having never played Dungeon Master or this game at all. And it was a disaster, but it was really fun. Flash forward to now, 19 years later, and I've since played extensively in 3rd edition, 3.5, Pathfinder, 4th edition, and 5th edition, as well as other systems like Call of Cthulhu, Shadowrun, Fiasco, White Wolf, and a bunch of other stuff. I love tabletop games. I love to run these games, and I love to see the players looking worried, despaired, elated, angered, relieved. But as much as I've played on the GM's side, I've played on the player's side too. In the quest for being the coolest and most awesome hero possible, I've built some pretty ridiculous characters. Both broken and system exploity and story development based in nature. This series will be all about building cool characters of all kinds, mostly in D&D 5th edition because that's what's popular right now, but sometimes in other systems as well. Do you want a min-max character? Strong in all the good bits and weak in all the bits that don't matter to you? We can do that. How about a really cool character concept that isn't necessarily the strongest but explores a neat combination? We can do that. What about the most ridiculous, unlikely BS that nothing but the most liberal of GMs would ever let fly? You better believe we can do that. So friends, welcome to this new series. We'll try to do one of these every week, in so much as that I can promise everything happening in a week, and I will make them happen. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and if you have any suggestions for this kind of stuff that you'd want to see in a character or whatever like that, don't hesitate to come onto the Discord channel, where I'll have a brand new specific channel just for this, character suggestions. You can also drop comments here or on any of the other videos, and I'll see what I can do to try to explore the options that you guys put forward for me. Of course, I'll make every character that I make for this series available as a download for free on my Patreon, so that you guys can have them if you like. Use them in whatever crazy and wacky zany antics that your party gets up to. Thanks so much, friends. I look forward to our adventures together. Happy rollin'.